Hello, Gowinvest family. Today is another day for Gowinvest 101, and today we're talking about trading strategies. Currently, it's about 10:34 right now, and 10:34 means that we're 1 hour into the trading day. So on my right, you can see my basically my cell phone, and we're going to do some live trading here just to reinforce everything that we learned in the past. I'm going to try to zoom in to make sure that we can see what we're dealing with right now. Currently, this is a live account. It's not, something that's fake. Let me go to the main account. We have $490 in the account. Okay, so we're gonna try to use our fundamentals, whatever we learned so far, to kind of grow this amount. So first, what are we looking for? We're looking for a stock that could be affected by recent news. So Caterpillar is a company that builds out like machine stuff and like big time industrial um, cranes and bulldozers and stuff like that. And according to Biden's new proposal, we're going to invest a lot into infrastructure, and a lot of that will be Caterpillar devices, Caterpillar maintenance, like Caterpillar vehicles and all of that stuff. So now it's time to look over here. We see the comments. It's about 77% bullish, but currently we're looking at the chart and we're seeing that here is the mid Bollinger Band and the top Bollinger Band and the bottom Bollinger Band. And you'll also see that here is the volume, here's the MACD, and here's the RSI. Now I want to show you that this can work on pretty much any type of stock. So we're going to try to ride this downtrend and see when is a good time to get it. Right now the MACD is below 0, but it's not the lowest that it's been. It's on a downtrend of MACD. I don't know when this thing will report. Right, we check here the volume, and the volume tells us whether this is a decent stock to trade or not. Usually you're looking for something over 1 million shares within a period of time. That kind of gives you a good sense that this is a high volume play. You won't see any barcoding here. When this is low volume, what would happen is you're going to see jitters on the stock, the, on basically the stock sheet. Let me turn it to a more lighter feel because I feel like here we're not getting. So let me cancel this. Let me check the settings, and turn it to bright theme. So now you can see it a lot better. Okay, so let's take it in percent change and let's sort it to the biggest. Currently, Build-A-Bear Workshop has been flying. I'm not sure about this. I might want to be putting a put on Build-A-Bear Workshop because of how high it's been in the past few days. But then again, these meme stocks you probably want to stay away from. They don't follow fundamentals like a traditional stock would. So what else do we got? We got Hyliion. Hyliion is a big company for EV sector. It seems to be holding the 1220 bar, but it seems to be at a high of the MACD right now, probably switching over to some selling pressure. I'm not too stoked about that. Now, here is another way to check it. You should go into the markets, and I want to click Explore. I want to have a screener for high volume. And we are looking for the highest potential volume. Alright, we can save it, and We can view the high stocks. We can view it by percent change. And Iconics seems to be a good stock that's moving today. We have Alfie. Alfie I like. So I am down with Alfie. The only problem with Alfie, it's like a tablet company that comes that you can put inside Ubers and things like that. I've heard good things about it. Just doing my research. Let's try to trade a swing. I want to trade a swing trade, but all of these are overvalued. So what you want to see instead of the overvalued one is maybe check the undervalued. So a ton of them have fallen a lot. Let's check this global Maritimus. Doesn't seem to have any volume whatsoever, so I'm not gonna trade that. 2.2 volume, not worth it. Oasis Midstream. This seems to be coming up. In fact, we've had buying pressure push it over mid Bollinger Bands. That's pretty good. The only problem here is our MACD doesn't look like it's gonna go. It's gonna probably double up on buying pressure here. And our RSI is looking middle of the road. So what we need to see is some confirmation that it's holding above the mid Bollinger Band, and as soon as it does that, we can confirm that we can get into this trade. So I'm going to wait a few minutes. We can actually watch. Let me see if I can change the line styles here and see the candles. And I want to see the candles forming. None of these stocks move to the extent that you would expect from a high volume riser or high volume faller. Doesn't seem like today is a good day to trade. Again, it's a Friday, and I would generally recommend not trading on a Friday. The tick by ticks are very slow. You can see one that just came in that's a sell order. You can see it by the analysis that most of it was sell, just a little bit of it was buy at that period of time. And so I'm not feeling too good about that. I do want to see something with mega volume. Wish, Sundial. Wish is a good one to play on. Again, penny stock penny stock trade. This seems really good. Right here, we're below mid SMA, or mid Bollinger Band, and we have a downtrend in the MACD as we talked about, as well as a low on the RSI. Now, the thing to know about this is, does it hit mid Bollinger Band and continue to fall? Because if that's the case, right now it's beginning of day, Bollinger Bands are not quite accurate. I'm going to change the settings from this Bollinger Band to a 20 point instead of 20 point is by default. Sometimes I choose 14 if it has 40 if it has high volatility, but 20 point is your traditional. So here we're actually seeing the lower part of the Bollinger Band, and what we're trying to do is see, can it hit the upper part of the mid Bollinger Band and hold above it? And if it holds above it, it's worth getting into. So we're waiting for that to happen. We can look at the tick by ticks, a good way to kind of measure the movement. We're seeing some green, some black. Black means it didn't move one way or the other. Greens means it moved more into a buying direction, and red means it moved more into a seller direction. You can see them come in live, and you can see that tug of war that I talked about on top. You can see the bid size, you can see the ask size, and you can see, at what price point are they tugging at. as well. So it's between the $14.20, 27 cents, and $14.28. So I'm still seeing it. It's still looking like it's building a green candle here. Yep, building a green candle. Again, unless it holds above the Bollinger Band, we are not getting in on this trade. So so as soon as we have that confirmation that it holds above the Bollinger Band, that doesn't mean that it touches it, it slightly goes over it and then goes back down. It really means that it comes above it, maybe bounces off of it, and then goes even higher. If it hits the upper band of the Bollinger Band, we're already set. At that point, we know that we could be due for an uptrend. It's time to get in on this trade. But you can see here that there was a period of uptrend, period of downtrend, and now we're looking at for a period of uptrend that holds above mid-Bollinger Band. If it bounces it and goes lower, we're going to have a little more of a downtrend. Let's wait for maybe a double down on the MACD and then try again later. I do want to get you some good trades here so that you can see that this strategy does work. It does take a lot of patience. And I'm saying that if you are trying to make consistent money on the stock market, you cannot be greedy. You cannot be emotional. We're seeing it hit right across above mid SMA, mid Bollinger Band. I keep saying mid SMA because sometimes I keep the mid SMA as well here. Um, but it's mid Bollinger Band, and it seems to hit it. It's now making a red candle, an indecision candle here. We're gonna see if it turns red, probably indicating some more selling pressure. Again, we had indecision candle here, but we went green. Now we're probably going a little red. But the MACD is very minimal. It's going to a convergence almost. I want to see if it goes into buying pressure from here or if it goes into more selling pressure, because we know that double downs on MACDs are possible. And if it is a double down on MACD, this could indicate a longer downturn trend, in which case we do not want to get in on that. That'll make us not that good of a trader. Again, everything is correctable as long as you have your day trades. Do not trade when you do not have your day trades. The other thing to do is never to trade early morning, because early morning ruckus could go one way or another, and the indicators have not caught up yet with current day trading as of yet. So I assume the best time to start is about 10 o'clock. We're starting at 10:30 just to make sure. And we can see here that it's doubling down on the Bollinger Band. That's not good for us. We could have another downturn of MACD. We'll wait that out until we see an uptick. So for now, we're going to move on to maybe another stock. Let's try Sundial. Um, Sundial looks like it could be coming up from lows to hit mid Bollinger Band. Again, it doesn't have to just hit mid Bollinger Band. It has to hold above mid Bollinger Band, and that's the thing that takes some patience, to identify that period of time where it hits and holds above, mid Bollinger Band. That you definitely don't want to hastily get into a trade. Um, and it's a lot of like hunting, basically like camping, video game. You're really waiting for that juicy meal to kind of get caught up. It seems like this did a morning star. You can see the green candle, then the indecision candle. Now it looks like a red candle forming. I don't know if that indicates some more downtrend, but nope, it's turning green. Maybe on some more green trend. The MACD does seem like it's coming up, so it looks like there could be due for some more buying pressure. I hope you guys don't mind the like beeping. I'm gonna put down the desktop audio, and the reason because of that is I'm also mining some doggy coin, and it keeps beeping to me when we get some hashes. Um, but doggy doge. Nope, looks like a morning star to me, or evening star to me. So evening star, no go. Maybe go back to wish, see if it's done the move that we want to do. And nope, it was more downtrend. So I was hoping to get you guys a good trade today. I'm still looking. I'm still going to be looking for a good trade to show you how this works. Mm, let's see AMC for now. Eesh. All right, let's trade the stock of the day, the AMC apes. Let's show you how to swing it. I really don't like trading on meme stocks because of the intrinsic value there is already implied. Everybody's taken over the swing. It's very a narrative controlled type of stock, and I we could get screwed one way or another because it's more of the story that plays out than the technical fundamentals. The technicals are the fundamentals, basically. It's just what happens, you know. But if this is the thing that's gaining all the volume, it's the thing that's moving fast enough for us to analyze. Perhaps we can play it. I'm seeing basically on the MACD here, we're seeing a downtrend of the MACD, a hold, no buying pressure coming in here when buying pressure would have been vital to push this up. And then we see a downturn of MACD again, potentially going into a buy set of buying pressure, assuming that people are buying. Again, it has to be a good deal for someone to buy in. A lot of people are fatigued because of AMC. There's not a lot of extra money left to buy shares and to push high buying pressure. But we'll see if it goes to the buying pressure and if it holds above this mid Bollinger Band. So until it hits above mid Bollinger Band and you know holds above mid Bollinger Band, we are not investing in AMC. It looks like a morning or evening star forming there too. Now again, you can't take it at the minute chart. A minute chart is not indicative of anything crazy, but it looks like more fall is due. Still hasn't crossed mid Bollinger Band, and I'm waiting for one of these doodads to kind of stocks to kind of hit mid Bollinger Band. It looks like it's going up now. There might be green. We might be looking at some buying pressure here. But until this thing goes green, I'm seeing the MACD turn in our favor. I'm seeing us hold above mid Bollinger Band. We're kind of dead in the water. Trade's not worth taking. It looks like there's just been a green sentiment showing up on the MACD. Come on, buyers. Show me the way. I think today is just one of those days, you know? It's Friday. This is why I don't like trading on Fridays generally. One, because it could inverse you in a second. People in the morning are somewhat buying, but by the end of the day, a lot of people who are day traders are taking their winnings for the week. And towards the end of the day, you better be out, you better be cash. Things change around crazy. Some people get into their positions for next week. It's just one of those wild down and then up days. Um, and every strategy that you might have, you might want to invert it for a Friday, just generally because that. But for me, right now, all we're looking for is a means to show you what we learned. Is there anything here that can show you a good example of what we learned? Hmm. This looks interesting. I'm wondering if it does have 49 million in volume. Every tick by tick, you can hold it and you can see about 100K in volume. That is a good sign. It has very low volatility here. It seems to have quadrupled up on MACD. That's not a good sign at all. Could be indicative of some sell-off, but then again, it barcoded. So it went up, it went down, it went up, it went down. It's looking like a squeezing pattern. Now, some of those candlestick patterns, like you saw people draw graphs, draw lines basically across the charts so that they can see something. So this is making higher lows and lower highs. It's squeezing. Now, what does it squeeze to? It could squeeze to a pop or it could squeeze to a fall. I want to hope that it squeezes to a pop, but I cannot be guaranteed on that. And especially with this much positive direction in the MACD, it looks like it's due for some negative direction in the MACD. So I'm not too hyped on that thesis. Let me look up Nokia. Nokia, 32 million in shares. Looks like it did a morning star. It doesn't report as fast. So let me look at it in terms of the draw style being our dual charts. No. Here, these are the indicators that I'm using. Let's change this to a line. Line is just by far easier to see. So we were holding below. It just looks so rigid, and that's indicative of a stock that doesn't report that often. So even though it has a lot of shares, it does not report that often. And just the lack of speed on reporting would make it seem like you can't trust this stock. Personally, I wouldn't, even though it does have the requisite amount of volume. We're going to check out Torchlight. Seems to have held above Bollinger Band and then went down, and then now it's testing the mid Bollinger Band. I want to see it go up and hold up. Right now it looks like it might go up, but it could double down on MACD. I think Torchlight will be our game play because it moves fast. It's a pretty low valued stock. Um, we don't have too much movement. It looks like it's right at the point where we wanted to see it test the mid SMA, and I want to see it go into some buying pressure. As soon as it goes into some buying pressure, then we can consider this worthwhile to get into. So it seems to hold above mid Bollinger Band. I need some confirmation from the MACD, from the RSI, that we're going up. So maybe about 2 cents in the positive direction. 504, we're getting it. Still seems to be testing that mid Bollinger Band. I'm wondering why, like usually you would see a period of good buying pressure here. Here it just looks like the pressure stagnated and there's not a lot of buying pressure. Currently, I see a small uptick. It looked like it went to 503 and it's might hold 503. Now we're looking for a 504 and then we'll jump in on a trade. Again, I always like to use, okay, it went to 504. So we're going to limit it to 504. We're going to buy in 100 shares. I think we can buy 100 shares only in regular. No, I don't have enough buying power. You see the buying power over here, so we have enough to buy maybe 90 shares. Okay, and our order is filled. It's a limit order. Again, I keep telling you guys, don't do market orders unless you just want to get in on a crazy rise and you are late to the game. Then, filing limit orders would be like a cat and mouse game, but you can still, with Webull, change your limit so that you can catch the rise. So here we are catching a rise. It went to 507, like I said, and now we have to design an exit strategy. Remember I told you that our exit strategy for this stock is for it to stagnate on MACD. One is stagnate on MACD. Second is probably test the Bollinger Bands. So if you wanted the most guaranteed way to make money, you wait for stagnation on the Bollinger on the MACD. That is the number one way you can consistently make money. Just wait for stagnation. That means no more buying pressures coming in. You don't even have to worry about a selling cycle and take your profits. To take your profits, you just get out on the same buy cycle. But if you really wanted to make sure, like you just caught an uptrend after a huge downtrend, and it could be a reversal, that means that there could be a period of buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell that will push it up, push the price up. You don't want to just limit your gains to like three or four, 30 or $40. You want to like 3 or 4 cents. You'd want to say, you know what, let's play it out. Let's see it for an actual this is a validation. So this is confirmation right here, happening right here, that we confirmed that we're getting into the trade. Now we need validation, which is when you sell out. And the only way to get validation is ideally, some people use the SMA, long-term SMA, short-term SMA vibe, but in this case we're just using the Bollinger Bands. I want to use the Bollinger Band as a metric to see when to get out because it's holding above upper. It hit the upper bounds. It's bouncing down. It look like any chance that it goes closer to mid is a chance of a reversal. Maybe do you want to take that chance? Do you not want to take that chance? If you absolutely are playing with too much money that you cannot risk, do not take that chance. My best guess would be to ride this out, because currently the amount of money and the position overall looks like it's an upwards day for Torchlight. So I'm not very worried about this coming crashing down on me. But say if I was in the options game, and I had any risk associated. Today's a Friday. I absolutely do not condone same day expiries on an options contract. You are playing with fire. Um, except in one case, and I'll explain that when we go into the options video. But here we can see that we're clearly above mid Bollinger Band, and we can ride this trend out. Let's ride it out until we see the validation. And with the validation, I want to see if I can buy in more shares. So I do have $37. $37 would equate to 6 shares. I'm going to buy in some more 6 shares, give a little more momentum to the upwards trend. I do like to push the envelope. Um, Still getting probably those notifications from the Dogecoin mining, but let's go. I don't know why it keeps flipping on me here, but um, I want to see live tick by ticks. Maybe if you really are in the mood to look at some high flying numbers, we go down tick by ticks. We're seeing the bull like the bears win a little bit to the 507 mark. I'd prefer it to be 508. We're seeing 507, and again, if things stop going in your direction and start looking bad, then you should be on the consideration that you should get out. So right now it's 506. 506 is a scary position for me, um, but I'm still on the idea that this will hold mid Bollinger Band. So mid Bollinger Band currently is trading at 502. So as long as we're above this 502 bar, we can say we're good. Um, just waiting for our exit. So let's look at our profit and loss. Today we made $3. $3 is $3 more than we had just previously, and we still have all our day trades, so we're not losing anything. Let's hope Torchlight can come up from here. And again, you always have to be wary that what if my initial assumption is wrong? Don't be into God mode where it's saying like, no, I can do no wrong. Everyone can do wrong. Everyone has made mistakes. I've made mistakes plenty of times, and I've been impatient plenty of times too. So you sometimes have to practice patience, but don't practice patience to the point at which you're just a deer in the headlight. You're making losses left, right, and center, and you're like, why? I don't know why. This should have gone up. Like I did all my homework and everything like that. Everything was working perfectly. No, you cannot be a deer in the headlights. You have to move. You put yourself in the position. You have to get yourself out of that position. Just a general life skill, life goal kind of thing. Um, and then currently, I'm still seeing just a barcoding motion right around that 506, 507 mark. I'm seeing we're gonna go down through a period of negative MACD, maybe a little bit of selling pressure here. We're gonna wait a cycle of MACD to see if the buyers come in again. And the MACD again is the like breathing in and breathing out of money. So right now we're on a cycle of positive MACD, but it looks like it's converging again for a divergence downwards. So we've just passed like a green cycle. It can double up on MACD, which we're looking for. If we have a double up on MACD, I'm not surprised, but I'm okay with it falling maybe a few cents because this is a downturn of MACD. So understand the MACD to understand the position of the stock. Like it might be a period of selling pressure. and you have to be patient on that period of selling pressure. We'll look at the RSI. We're about 55, which is like mid value. It wasn't that good of a value that when we bought it at. It's not like hitting the 30s or something where we can see, this is the best time to buy in and like all the indicators were running perfectly. But it's definitely doing some good movement. So we're holding above 504. It looks like it's going through some selling pressure. Now, the way that we get out on this trade and maybe even take an L is that if it hits mid Bollinger Band, goes to the lower side, hits lower, comes back up to mid Bollinger Band, and is rejected again. And if it does that twice, we're out. So our entry point was that it hit the mid Bollinger Band, went down, hit it again, and bounced on top of it. In this case, we're looking for the negative run of that. And maybe we need to take an L over there. But the thing is that we got out. We had a plan of exit, and we are able to enact that plan of exit. But again, I'm just going to hold here until I see potentially, I think that there's more uptrend worthy on this stock, and we will track it. And we have our exit strategy. If you wanted um, a more conservative exit strategy, the moment it was tending towards maybe 505, where it's tending towards the Bollinger Band line, you would just sell out. You're like, no way am I even taking that risk. I just want to get out. You might sell on the same cycle at that point. You didn't wait for multiple cycles, but you've given up one of your day trades. You have like if you have under $25,000, which a lot of us have, not $25,000 is a lot of money for people. 3 day trades a week. So you want to use them as conservatively as possible. If you're in some sort of a gain, keep it if you are in strong convictions. If you're not in strong convictions, if you want to play the very, very slow game of growing that, you can. Those are some other bots, texting bots that I have that kind of monitor the market. I'm going to go into some of those building when we go into the scripting portion of the learning. It's not going to be Gowinvest 101 at that point. It'll probably be Gowinvest 301. Gowinvest 201 I'll keep for some sort of options trade strategies. Something where you can kind of set and forget. This is a little more active trading. So, yep, you are violently monitoring the stock in this current aspect for good trades. So we are looking healthy. We are above mid Bollinger Band and tending upwards. And that's what I tell you is this is what patience is, and it kind of pays off. So currently, let's see how much money we are making on our Torchlight. We are making $5. $5 on $500, or a little less than that, honestly, $488. We have made a 1% gain. That's not to be taken lightly. 1% gain day upon day is about 3 timesing your money in a year. Over 3 timesing your money on a year. But we're still waiting. I still want to see some good trend. And we'll talk about ways to multiply your money using margin, using options trading, and really building it out. But other considerations start to creep up. If you are a patient type, if you are, playing with a decent amount of money, let's see how much money can you exactly play with this without affecting your price too much. What you want to do is say you wanted to sell out instantly. You have 500 shares. You want to sell out instantly. You want to look over here. You want to press. You want to hold. You want to see what the volume is. Right now, the volume is about 130K shares. So my $500 are equivalently how many shares? 96 shares. My 96 shares will be a drop in the bucket to 93,000 shares on the volume. Let's say if I had 200,000 shares, me selling out would really cause ripples in the waves. It'll basically, I will eat into some asks. When I sell, when I do a market sell or even limit sell, I might have to hold the bar for a little while so people hit my bar and sell, 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 sell. It's not going to be an instant fill. And with that, in like it won't be an instant fill when I sell it, but there is a possibility that you can still trade maybe 2x on this, so maybe about 200,000 shares. So 200,000 shares at $5 a share is about $1 million. So unless you're trading $1 million on this stock, you probably are in good hands trading just the stock. This is the easiest type of trading that you can do. It is like, say you put me out on the streets, no money whatsoever. All I had is my app. All I had was, a few $100s or something like that. Um, and then told me to make money or grow that. This is what I'm doing. I am watching it heavily. I'm making these trades. We're looking for a good. Now, if you hit, let's say a good idea is to put in a price target. Let's say if I make 10% on my money, I'm out of a trade. It doesn't matter if this will go to the moon. I need 10%, and if I do 10% daily, it's better than me risking everything to go to the moon and then losing. So I'd rather not lose, do it consistently, but cap out my gains, and that makes a lot more sense to general traders than like, okay, you know, that makes a lot more sense to general traders than I have to make all of it at once. It's like the hare and the tortoise. Everyone wants to be the hare, everyone wants to be fast, but really the tortoise wins. So we're still here, kind of got a little fuzzy. I don't know why. Come on here. Okay, so we're back. Which did we invest in? Torchlight. Torchlight. Now, I know this company because I've invested in it previously and I have it on my watch list. That's one of the reasons why it kind of showed up. But Torchlight is an educational company. They're doing some sort of new vibe on, I don't know if like Reader Rabbits and stuff like that kind of eat your brain, but they're teaching kids through technology. They're building out technologies for teaching kids. Not a bad company, I say. Um, Currently, we're up 2.43%. That's not a bad gain. But again, we're stagnating on MACD. If you were here and you didn't want to take the L, we'd sell. But I want to show you guys that we had an exit strategy. We will follow our exit strategy. We don't care about, okay, this is hit 2% per day. I'm going to sell. If you were playing with $1 million, do that. I mean, that is probably the better strategy with higher amounts of money. But this is a strategy with a low amount of money. We can ride the trend out a little longer. And we haven't hit validation yet. So let's ride it. Mm, the RSI is coming down. And the thing is, these point SMAs and the point RSIs, they normalize again after their windowing period. So the RSI will go back to 50, even though it's a high, after 14 samples have occurred. And the MACD after 34 samples will generally trend around the zero sector again, even though the stock just went up. Okay, so we are still on a rise, 2.8%. And I'm thinking you guys might be thinking, ah, this is just a lucky break because, beginner's luck. But I'll show you this again, maybe midday today. Today is Friday. I have to go for my Friday prayers. But I'll come back midday today and I will do another one of these trades just to show you that it is a viable strategy that you guys can use to make money day upon day. I don't know why the whole screen starts to get buggy on the trade on the change. I need to lock down the rotation. Let me pull this out and put it back on. So now it's a little clearer, I guess. And let's go back to Weeble. Eesh. Still not clear enough for me. Okay, that looks a little cleaner. Okay, now we're a lot cleaner. Let's look at where we were at Torchlight. Okay. So we are still watching this go, this rip. So I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit. The idea here is that you'd always want to kind of see the news. You can click on the news tab on any browser and then read some news about the idea, like the stock that you were kind of looking at. You can run some analysis on the company. A lot of analysts tell you to hold this. This is the current price target. We are trading, this is the current price, and this is where the price target I think needs to be, or average, no, that's the average cost. So these guys are kind of playing on, they're playing on, they're basically playing on a loss, and in the meantime, you can see short interest increase. This is something added because of GameStop. Everyone likes the short interest. Here's the company's revenue. Look at that. It's all red. I would not be in this on a long-term play because I don't know the fundamentals of the company that well. But I do know about the company. It is an Okay, wait. It's saying here Torchlight is an energy company. I thought it was an education company, but that might be some other light. Guys, we are 5% up today. 5%. 5%'s not 10%. 5%'s not 20%. 5% is not 200%. But 5%, I would say, is a good day. It's a good run for today. Now, I wouldn't have ever suggested this is like, worthwhile. The only thing is like I don't know when the trend will end. It could end sooner, it could end later. For a small term holder like myself, or like you, I mean, I'm assuming, um, we just buy and hold until we see that our exit conditions have been met. Once our exit conditions have been met, we exit, we take our profit, and we walk away softly. That's the strategy here. But being up 5.8% wasn't my plan. It's not. It should never be the plan. In fact, the trade should be considered its own separate space. And I think 5% on just shares alone is a pretty problematic play. I'll just show you for a brief moment one of my things called a ghetto spread. I am currently down $30 on my ghetto spread, but that is running on forward options. You do a call and a put, and and I was hoping that the volatility would pick me up, but right now it's losing me $8. It's okay. I mean, I'm not too worried about that. It was good while it lasts. This seems to be going to a downtrend now. Does it hold above mid Bollinger Band? Does it not? Is the question. We're up $20 on this, so I can't say it didn't kind of break even. But options contracts are just inherently more risky. My suggestion to most new traders is stick to stock trading. Stock trading is a very viable alternative to like just generic money making alternatives. But when you get to options trading, it's almost gambling. It is to a point where you are making almost an educated guess on where you think a stock would be. There are a few strategies that you can employ, but then again, you cannot fundamental analysis, your normal analysis like we do here, does not apply there as much often. And we'll talk about intrinsic and extrinsic value and how to really get into a contract. You don't want to get in while the hype is high. You think like say GameStop at the high is ready for a short. Like everything that goes up must come down. You think that, hey, I'm gonna buy a put option into the stock, but as soon as something starts skyrocketing high, both the puts and the call options on that go insanely high. Partially because of the hedged risk, but also because of also because of people buying it and the demand goes up, and so even the puts are highly valued and they're already priced in. You have to pre-anticipate some type of news, pre-anticipate some type of hype, buy the rumor, sell the news. Basically, when it becomes public information and everyone thinks that something's going to happen, pull your money out because you don't even want to wait for that catalyst. Say, they're coming on TV tomorrow. The CEO of a company is coming on TV tomorrow. People think, oh, they'll push the stock up. And you can see that people are thinking that because the price is rising. Get in and get out before he appears on TV. Because he could, like Elon Musk with Dogecoin, do something terrible and it causes it to tank. Don't ever be there when that happens. Um, That's just my advice. I would say that just like don't play that game. The other thing to do is like if you're playing options contracts for the next week or something like that, be very wary to buy another options contract on Friday because over the weekend, the implied volatility before the weekend, so post market, pre market for the next day, Okay, so now we're hitting mid Bollinger Band. Let's see if it crashes through the mid Bollinger Band, and then we can get out and we can claim this money. So it did hit mid Bollinger Band. Does it bounce up on top of it? If it bounces up on top of it, we might be due for more run, but it looks like the MACD is turning negative. This is a good exit point, in my opinion. But I'm going to play my exit strategy to fruition, which means that it has to hold below the mid Bollinger Band. And this is what I keep telling you guys. You gotta stick to your strategy, regardless of what people might think. Um, that, okay, I'm going to you know what, I'm going to have an easier sell condition than my buy condition. I'm going to have an easier buy condition than my sell condition. And that always messes you up. So if you had a strong buy condition, have a strong sell condition. Only sell when it matches up, when it confirms, or when it validates, basically. So you have confirmation right at the beginning, you have validation right at the ending, and you play that, you get your money out, you rinse and repeat, and and you can't guarantee, like in this case, we got 3.42%. You cannot guarantee a percentage. You have to wait it out. Currently, our video is going up to 56 minutes. I don't know how much longer that you guys probably want to see a bar or hear me talk. Um, but it does look like Mac it's gonna go through some selling pressure, and ideally I would like to hold on this, but I do have some other obligations right here, so I'm going to sell and clock in my gains. I will come back for another like 10 minutes or so later on, and I'll record a second trade that we're going to do today. You can make note of these times that are in the corner here. Look at this live and backtrack it to see that this did in fact occur, and this is, me live trading these strategies. So I'm just trying to say that if I had my way, I probably would hold this. This seems to be a sea of green, but it's a Friday. I know how Fridays typically go. I'm never a winner. I'm cashing out my gain of $17. I'm gonna close it. Sell limit. It has been filled, so I'm out. And I will see you guys in about 2 hours, perhaps 2 3 hours, and then we'll gonna make one more trade for the day, and I'll show you that this strategy does in fact work. And I wish I held into it some more. It looks like it's hitting 525, 526, and could push up even further. But that was one trade. Let's see if my win rate's 50-50, my win rate's 70 something. I don't know, but we'll see when we get our second shot at this. So I did come back to do one last trade, and the microphone wasn't working when I started recording this video, so I'm playing it back here with a faster speed so you can see the gist of what happened. But we went into AMC right around the $54 bar. I talked about how $54 can be kind of a psychological bar in people's brains because people like whole numbers. So you would want to trade right around 54 instead of say 53.93 or 54.05 or something like that. So these kind of things can stagnate in people's brains as a psychological bar. They won't pass it or go back down underneath it. So it comes to one of those really contested tug of war spaces. And we thought it was kind of coming down from there, but it did bounce back above mid Bollinger Band, and it was on the upside. We were making some gains. However, it did follow through the full exit strategy, so it went below mid Bollinger Band and it was coming up. I made the executive decision to sell just to show you that we do need to follow our exit strategies. If we had held, we might have made a few dollars, or even if we sold earlier, we could have made a few dollars. But then towards the end of day, it did get much worse than that. So I'm glad I sold out where I did. I'm just saying that this is the way that you have to play stocks. Not everything's a win, not everything's a loss. And I hope that in the future I can give you some extra tips on identifying the stocks that might be more likely to be winners, as well as other strategies, other thought procedures, other mental notes to take into consideration when trading to be consistently profitable, because some of these things are a little bit more nuanced. It's more of an art than a science. And hopefully, our next lessons will be on identifying good stocks and potentially learning maybe the basics of an options contract. Hope to see you guys then. Thank you. Peace out.